Good evening. Today, I'd like to refer back to a video I did several weeks ago, and it was dealing with Plato, the ancient philosopher, and moreover, it was dealing with his idea about reality that he superbly explained through a little story about prisoners in a cave. Some of you might remember it, some of you might know it anyhow. Today, I came across a beautiful comparison, or someone who took this idea and compared it to a story that will, I guess, be something that most of you are familiar with. C.S. Lewis and the Shadowlands. The Shadowlands is the last book in the series of Narnia that starts with the lion, the witch, and the wardrobe. Actually, it's not called the Shadowlands, it's called The Last Battle. Apologies. But it's dealing with the Shadowlands. So, let me read this little quote to you, and I would really love to hear your thoughts about what is real. Has C.S. Lewis given it justice, just like Plato did? So, as I said, the final book about Narnia is called The Last Battle. In its closing pages, Narnia comes to an end. The land is covered by sea and the sun is out. All the good creatures from Narnia pass through a door into an extraordinary new land. Finding themselves in this new land, the children whom the Narnia stories are about wonder where they can be. Parts of this new land seem like the Narnia they remember. Parts seem like the England they remember, just more wonderful. One of the characters in the story explains to the children that the Narnia and the England that they remember were not the real Narnia or the real England. They were just shadows of the real world in which they now find themselves. This real world has always existed and will always exist, and is as different from the old Narnia and the old England as a real object is different from its shadow. Finally, on the very last page of The Last Battle, the children wonder how they could have ended up in this wonderful place. They are afraid they might be made to leave, but then it is explained to them that they are actually all dead. They were killed in a railway accident. They have now passed over from what C.S. Lewis calls the Shadowlands into the real world, where they will live happily ever after. Their old lives were but a dream, and this now is the morning. So as you can see, C.S. Lewis borrowed this idea of the real world beyond the shadows, the real world to which we go when we die, from Plato. In fact, if you read The Last Battle carefully, you will discover that near the end of the story, one of the characters actually tells the children that it's all in Plato. So, Plato believes that this world, the world you and I and everyone around us are experiencing right now, isn't the real world. These are the Shadowlands, as C.S. Lewis calls them. It might seem like the real world, but it is not. The real world is invisible. It lies beyond what we can see, touch, hear, smell, taste. But why did Plato suppose that these are merely the Shadowlands, that the real world lies beyond? Well, that is a philosophic question. And instead of giving you, well, different answers or one of the answers, I'd like you to give me the answer for a change. And I really look forward to hearing what you've got to say. And if you don't remember it very well, then please do look up the cave story of Plato. It's not that long. You can quickly read it. And it's definitely worth it and should make you think. So on this note, enjoy the evening and think a bit and share your thoughts. Thank you for listening in, and I'll see you again towards the end of the week, just before Easter. Take care.